guys, welcome back to the new live show every Thursday, Disclosed, where myself and my lovely co-host, Kari Lindsay, we share our opinions on the latest and greatest that is going on around the UFO community. We have much different views. We don't always agree, and we bring our individual expertise in how we think and how we articulate, and hopefully, get people to ask the right questions and not just try to give them the answer and feed them everything. Today, it looks like Kari has done a really good job of collecting some great videos. So we're going to start off with drones. Then we're going to move into disinformation and UFOs. And then rounding out the show today, because we're a little bit late, it is late for Kari. So we're going to round it out with Dylan Borland's testimony, and perhaps make fun of some spoon bending. How you doing, Kari?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Fantastic. It's been a rough week. Just had a couple things hit me, and it's just been one after another, and I didn't think I was gonna talk about it too much, but being a sober person, we have these. I haven't drank or done like a drug or anything like that in about 5.5 years, and I got really close, and it was weird. It messed with me, but I tried to internalize a lot of things, and I think it just kind of came crashing down. And one of the reason I bring it up for any reason is because I think we need to be open to having humility and
Right.
admitting when there might be an issue, when there might be a problem, and the show is not the problem. It's other things just compiling on. But I just want to say to everyone, thank you for the well wishes, especially you, Kari. You're always very, very supportive. You're probably the only person I told about it outside, other than like the one person that lives with me. But yeah, I've just been struggling with some mental health issues, I suppose. But that doesn't mean that we can't have intelligent conversation. These are the things that help me. These are the conversations that get me out of my mode and my isolationist attitude.
Well, I'm glad to be able to help you with that, and I'm glad
Yeah.
you're feeling better enough to be able to do the show.
Yeah. We missed last week, and I'll say it. It's because we had to postpone because I just wasn't in that space. So, Kari, it's good to get back on the show with you. I am gonna have, for anyone who's maybe experiencing, my side might be a little choppy. In the studio, I need to get the internet company out here to fix what's going on. We use a mesh Wi-Fi network. I'm directly connected, and we pay for the biggest thing, and it's just not living up to what it needs to. And so I apologize if there is any errors. But Kari, I know we're already an hour late. Thank you so much for doing this again and again every week. You have some videos that you want to show us. So
Yeah. So on the last show, we covered the drone activity in Europe, and the main case that I debunked was the initial sighting at the airport that happened, where a plane circled twice over the runway, and about 8 minutes later, the airport was shut. And then there was lots of reports of drones and stuff, or objects afterwards. Now, after we did that show, I looked kind of further into it, and more time was passing, and these phenomenon seem to have been moving around Europe. So I collected some videos and I put them into chronological order for us to look through. Now, the first one I'm going to share is not from Europe, but I thought it was a good opener. It's some plane spotters at LAX.
Yeah.
And they go up on top of the multi-story parking lots with really good cameras and whatever. So the people that go up there, they were able to capture. Is it this one? Is this one? Oh no, sorry, this is San Diego International Airport, not LAX. Oh, it's very loud.
Can you put it full screen?
Yes. That isn't that insane?
What the fuck?
It's from the look of it, it's just a commercial drone. Some guy's dicking around, but ATC had
How
to
is it
alert.
getting in there?
Well, so ATC. What do you mean getting in there?
How is it? How? Because a commercial drone can't breach the.
Well, he's just
Breach the
driven it.
airport.
Well, this is over in the parking lot. So like, it's obviously someone that's
Oh.
parked up and is trying to get an aerial shot. But ATC
Oh.
had to be
Gotcha.
alerted. ATC then alerted the pilots, and then local PD responded.
Got it. Got it.
But yeah, he's like
so
looking around and flying around.
so this is kind of like good because it does show you that like people are flying drones in the vicinity of airports and in that area. Commercial air like drones, not UAPs, but commercial drones. And that's a great look how clear that is.
Right?
Who's filming this?
Just one of these plane spotters that sit at
Like,
airports
how come
and
we
track
don't have
all the
any
planes
fucking
coming.
UFO videos like that?
Right? It does make me question. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Like,
Holy shit!
isn't that cool?
Wait, how is that drone right there? That makes no
Well,
sense.
this is why the local police department were called, because that drone should not be there.
I was gonna
Not
say,
when
'cause-
you've got planes doing that. Like, no.
Wait a second. So if I go to Logan Airport right now and I tried to fly my drone like that, it would not let me. It would return to sender.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
right. An FTR, right. So,
Well, how is it not
sorry, a
happening?
TFR. So, I don't know. Unless they've hacked the OS
Code?
or, yeah, I mean, I don't know why.
Because it's every. So actually, this is a funny story. I was flying a drone when we went to the Area 51 area, and we weren't even close to the base yet. We were just flying the drone, like we were still probably 25 miles out of.
You hit the boundary in Nellis range, right?
Yeah, we hit the boundary, and all of a sudden. So either A, it just falls out, not falls, but it just lands, or it'll turn around and come back to you if you have it on a GPS. And we hit some like invisible wall, and then I looked into it. Turns out, I was like, because I always wondered how they kept this from being an issue. Well, so they have the technology, this anti-drone technology, but that of course only works for commercially bought drones.
Right.
So.
Right.
Which that is.
Yeah, that's a G, right?
That looks like a DJI. It's
one of the
nice
bigger ones.
enough. Yeah, it's nice enough where it has a rotating gimbal camera in the front. It looks like it does like a full.
Wouldn't it be interesting if that actually turned out to be the feds and the local PD didn't know about it?
Well, it is an odd color. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Unless I'm a little colorblind, so it might just be me, but it kind of does give me that like law enforcement vibe, like the gray.
I mean, I've used the DJI drone with that same color scheme, so it's not it's not out of the ordinary.
So, all right, example of a drone video near an airport.
Yep.
So we're establishing that this is either it is a product of the news spinning this drone theory and people talking about it online. People are flying these drones closer to airports to try to do whatever, get good shots, aerial shots of whatever.
Right, but this gets sticky when it comes to like security measures and like operational security and stuff for airports.
Of course.
So
the next big problem.
The next thing I wanted to share, and this is getting into the European stuff. Let me share this tab instead. There we go. So this is a map showing roughly what the activity was over the last couple of weeks of people seeing weird shit in the sky.
Okay.
So I can't have this map up at the same time as showing videos. So anybody watching, I need you to kind of just memorize this map. So
Okay.
first up is wait,
So-
which one is
South from Norway, and then east over the German border in Denmark, and then south again, and then west
yeah.
into Germany, towards
Yeah.
Poland.
So the first one we want to share is this one's from Norway during this sighting.
Objektet sett I natt. Politiet sier det ikke 100%.
Oh my god, I don't speak Norwegian, funnily enough. There we go. So here is the this is the orb that was seen. Interesting sighting.
What's shooting this?
I think this is one of those like skyline cams.
That's a pretty big orb, and with
It is for the scale, like that we're looking at, and I'm guessing like so this frame at the end.
So if anyone's just listening in the future, because I do put these on the podcast platform, I recommend that you watch on YouTube just to see some of these visuals that we're showing, because that was a pretty large orb.
It is pretty large, eh?
Like in reference to how an orb usually looks like on like my camera or something, like
Right.
you know, a plane from a distance. That unless it's the plane is pretty close. That or a drone is close, but it's
I mean,
also not
it could be
blinking.
a helicopter, but it's very stationary. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the 2011 Jerusalem UFO that was fake. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
There's three different angles.
But I heard. Now I could be wrong. I'm sorry. I could be wrong about this, but I said the same thing. I thought that video was fake. I was almost certain that it had been debunked, but I was watching someone and I can't remember. I'll have to, maybe the audience can help. And I was watching someone, but they had gone into this whole thing about how it was not debunked and how it was one of those situations where like they debunked it, but I don't know. I can't.
I mean,
I
as
can't
far as I
remember.
heard that,
But the
as far as I heard,
debunking was
Jerusalem was
debunked.
100% debunked. Like,
Well, I don't know. I've heard contrary, and not in the sense that like, oh, I heard about it when it was going on, and you know that's when everyone believed it was true. No, I remember someone specifically talking about the actual debunking of that case, and then debunking the debunk. And I'll have to find it and come
okay,
back to it.
that's your
'cause it's
homework
not-
for next show because
Yeah,
I
it's-
wanna
It's not
explore that.
important, but move on.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to come back
It's an
to.
interesting case in general.
Yeah,
Because think about the implications. I mean, it's the Golden Dome, like, you know what I mean? It's the what is it? The Temple of the Rock. or
Temple of the
something?
Rock. Yeah.
And the way this thing blasts off, if we could prove it to be at least anomalous, like the video's real, with multiple angles, I think that's it. The implications are immense. So
So that video was very convincing at the time. I remember when that came out in 2011 and being like, "Holy shit! Like, I can't believe it."
right, like we finally have it.
Right, but then over the years, it was very thoroughly debunked as being some students who constructed it, and
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
I guess I'll have to look into that. Maybe
I'll have to dig it up because I would have done if I knew we were going to be bringing it up.
Well, I didn't know you were going to bring that up.
I know, I know, I didn't.
That's one of those
It's
lucky
just, I
ones.
literally just realized the scale. It's just the scale of this video
So
is
what were
like
you
very similar
saying-
to that.
Oh, I was going to say, what was your original point before I took you way off track? So you're saying that the orb in this is actually scaled
Oh, no.
to like a similar
No, I
degree?
mean, kind of. It was more just the scale of the entire frame. So you're looking down on a skyline. You've got
city, yeah.
you got an orb above.
Oh, okay,
Like
yes.
my brain immediately went Jerusalem
Got it.
as like a visual grab. But like I know that video is probably 99.9% debunked. So
Oh yeah. So to anyone listening, yeah, he's right. The scale is very. It looks very similar to that.
is it? The thing is it moving? It doesn't look
No,
like
I
it's
don't
really.
see it. I see it move.
Oh no,
but
it is
back
moving.
and
It's
forth.
translating. So look at it in conjunction with the flagpole on the right.
Right.
It is moving. And the camera
But it's moving back and forth, so like it's hovering and moving in the wind, or moving with the. So it's going like back.
terrible.
Did I see it, or is that just you moving it?
That was me moving it backwards and forwards. So that's it in real time. It is moving.
I don't know. It's so hard to gauge. Oh, it is moving. Yeah.
So if you use that, so let me move it. So
that one is interesting.
It is interesting, right?
So what happened with this? Anything like?
Well, it's just these are some of the sightings that got all of the European leaders to be like, "What is this? Why are these things appearing over airports and whatnot,
Do you think
or over in restricted airspaces?"
Do you think that it's coincidence that these things are happening now over Europe and I don't know, like maybe they're trying to get the people there talking about it and have it in the news and have a reason to have like a meeting about it and just then talk about UAPs as well, because it's all to them, it's all the same thing, right?
Yes and no, kind of.
Yeah.
I think there's a security concern. The next thing I'm going to share, we'll get into that.
All right.
So I'll share it now.
So that one was really interesting.
So this is like a day later down in Sweden. So this is one country down on this list. So now we're down in Sweden.
Yeah. So now we're gonna hook a.
So it's interesting. I haven't confirmed this because
put that in full screen.
1 second. So I don't know how to confirm this, but apparently at the same time as this sighting, there was a large Russian cargo ship navigating near the coast. Now, think of it this way. What if this is like reaction testing?
Yeah, readiness.
So like you've got a Russian cargo ship navigating these shipping lanes, and then they're flying drones off of the ship as they pass ports and and populated areas to see the reaction. It's a possibility.
I agree. But who's performing that?
Russia. It's a Russian ship.
Okay. So this one's pretty dark. It's definitely smaller, but it's definitely an orb. Again.
So there's buildings for scale there in the beginning.
Yeah, building is actually is a good scale. That's a larger building than I thought.
That's actually a 2 or 3 story building, and then you've got. So there's definitely some color blinkage.
Yeah, it's also very shaky.
It is. It's not the greatest footage shot, but.
So stabilization on that one would probably help.
See another color flare there.
And to anyone, we appreciate any super chats or donations you can give to the show. Help keep the lights on and keep Kari working. We do appreciate everyone who is also joining membership. So thank you, everyone, and we really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that one did not. I mean, that could be anything to me.
Yeah, it was the color change that kind of interested me because.
So I'm colorblind. Is there a color change?
Okay. Yes. So it's probably a plane. It's probably some kind of small plane, but you've got red blinkage and it looks like some kind of. It's very shaky. So like it. So like it looks like there's a green flare. So like it could just be a small aircraft, this one, but the fact that this was taken at the same during this sequence of sightings.
Okay, yeah. So this is happening pretty close. And again, is it in relation? Do we know where it was taken? Do we know if it was in relation to any major airports? Do we know of who's?
Carl Skroner.
Okay, that means nothing to me.
I know, that's why I'm gonna search Google.
This is
Do they have an airport?
Home to the prime. What does that say? Home to the country's primary.
Oh yeah,
naval
so
base?
right, that was it. So literally saying it right there. So this was right over the primary naval base for
At the
Norway
same time, a
or
large
Sweden. Sorry.
Russian cargo ship is navigating near the coast.
I mean, that
Okay.
makes sense looking at it. There's a major shipping lane like just off the
Yeah.
coast.
And they use drones on ships, so I could possibly see this being also something that's just coming from the ship, right?
It's an interesting possibility. I don't think it's like
Okay,
the
okay.
the idea of Russia like to what end? That's why I'm like
Well-
that ship might have been there, but like to what end is this happening?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Very good question. And again, there's that naval base around there, so it infers. So we're seeing, a theme definitely.
Yes.
These things are happening, and they're happening in the vicinity of, it might not be it seems to be a lot of airports and major air. There seems to be air traffic involved. Like
Yes.
they're seeing these things a lot. Okay.
So the next thing is this is a translated statement from Danish authorities. So again, this is another couple of days later. So
Can you read it?
yep. So it says air sightings in Netherlands. Is that it? Danish?
Oh no, because it's so. I'll put it.
I always want to say Daneland, but it's not Daneland. So okay. So this is what the Danish defense says in reply to this publication. The Danish defense can confirm that a number of air observations have been carried out in recent weeks and on several of the defense's services distributed around the country, where in several cases there have been drones. The publication has previously described that some of the drone observations in Denmark, that's the country. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm done.
Denmark.
Some drone observations in Denmark have been refuted by police investigations, including observations between the 23rd and 28th of September at military installations. That would be what we just saw in Sweden and stuff, I guess.
Okay.
However, the defense does not want to elaborate on where and when drones, for safety reasons, have been observed, which I think is silly because people could corroborate these sightings if they knew when and where.
Yeah.
The publication has also asked the defense why they know it are drones. That's a bad translation. Whether, for example, one has been able to detect the drones via radar or other data that are not human observations, and they haven't had an answer on that.
So no. What they're basically saying is like, have you? They're not sharing with us whether they're getting these things on radar.
Right, they're not revealing sources and methods, which is fine. I'm not.
Sources. You don't.
Well,
need
it depends. It depends how they're detecting them.
It's their radar. Like we know radar exists.
Well,
like,
yes, but if they're
but
if they're flying underneath the radar, how are they detecting them? So maybe there's some kind of lower radar that isn't classified that we can't know about, right?
Okay.
So,
okay. And that would be the first time I would see that government, made sure not to misdirect people by just saying, no, we
well, no,
don't
I think
radar.
I think this comes down to a public radar and a classified radar. I think that's how if they're detecting them if they're below like commercial radar level, but
the ones they're not supposed to have. Yeah.
Yeah, like how are they logic abounds that if they're detecting them below the commercial radar level, then they have some kind of radar below that. So
yeah. So okay, yeah, all right. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that, I suppose. But so what happens next? So now that
So next is probably the most interesting sighting out of these,
Okay.
at least in my opinion. So it comes with a statement. This has been translated from
Jesus.
Danish.
Okay, so
I will paraphrase.
Okay.
This person saw some orbs.
Okay. That's the
So
paraphrase.
yeah. So this is like the long explanation in Danish about her experience of seeing it, but the video is interesting.
She mentioned seagulls. Mick West. Oh my God, I know what he's saying. Mick West is like, yep, she said it. It's seagulls. Oh wait, what the hell?
Right. It's like, wait, what? I suffered through the
Wait a
Danish
second.
waffle, but the video was like,
Wait a second. What the fuck is that? Dude, that's either
you know what it reminds me of?
why do I keep
It reminds me of the reports of the flying V-shape UFO in the Phoenix sighting that was
Yeah,
able to like
but
widen the aperture of the angle of the V-wing.
right, but like do you see how low that is?
That's pretty low. That's pretty like you see the car in like
Yeah. Do you see it carb just pass by? My God.
so like there's the scale, right?
If you
So,
are
like-
listening, you need to check out the timestamp is 26:44. You need to see this one. This one is very. I mean, that if you pause it right there, like, for why do I want to say this is like farmland, and like, is it possible that it is 3 drones, like literal drones, up in the air over like a farm, and they're just sitting there like that's the only other thing I can think of. But something makes me want to think like something's telling me that all of those are attached to the same thing though. So my left brain is trying to say it's three drones, but my other mind is saying no, that thing is one thing.
Your brain wants to confirm to
That's
itself
pretty fucking
that
wild,
there's structure between those 3 points.
Yes.
Because they're moving and I get that because my brain wants to do the same thing. That's why I found it really, really interesting. But
So-
is this just theater of the mind? We're looking at black pixels,
Yes, of course.
right? There's no light there.
It is uniquely lit in the foreground and the background, though. So you do have a essence of kind of some depth here because you're seeing the fence in the beginning. She's zooming in. You see a car pass in the middle ground. She zooms out, or you're just zooming out. So she's zooming through and in. This thing, I mean, I think with confidence we can say that's like 300 feet over the ground. Like, there's no way it's.
But my problem is, and I want to find out exactly where this was because we can't see the horizon, right? We don't know that there's not elevated land there. There's not a hill. There could be like country lanes, right? So these could be vehicles on land, like
okay,
miles away.
Okay,
so
I see what you're saying.
Right.
So,
But the fact that how they're moving in relation to each other is interesting.
So I was gonna say, is there any changes in the distance between the head and the wings?
Like I said, it looks. So I'll explain this to the viewers. It
not
looks like a V ring doing this. So like the two. So you got the point, and then you got like the 2 points going, wow, like a hinge.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like, say the thumbs are the 2 points on the outside. They're doing this. So they're both moving away from that center point.
Making like a line.
I'm not. I don't want anyone to construe that I'm sitting here saying that this is a UFO. I mean, it's technically unidentified. It's flying and it's some kind of object, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's aliens.
Anomalous. It's
right. It's interesting, but there are a billion things it could be. I just thought it was interesting in the context of all the drone things that are going on and the sequence.
Do we know where this took place? Like, do we know? Is it again? Is it in reference to an air base. Is there anything around that we should note? Because I would like to reach out to this person so we can get a picture of what that spot would look like during the daytime.
Me too. Maybe that's something we can have as a goal for the next episode, is to get a statement from this person about what is on the horizon. What does that look like in the daytime?
Yeah, it's some sort of highway that runs through, just like a black. In our reference point from this, it's a dark. This is not a well lit place. It's not. It's
Right.
not it's not like city. So my gut is telling me that this is like like you're right, that's way deeper than we think it is, and there could be something that's like making us think it's closer than it is. So
Right. I mean, that could be boats on water, right?
it very well could be. Again, you know what? I was just thinking that as I was saying it. We don't even know that there's not a lake there.
Right.
But does she? Like,
I mean, I assume so.
she wouldn't
lives
say
there,
it was a
right?
UFO if she knew there was a lake right
Right.
there.
If she knew that there were lakes and if she lives there, then she's very used to like what's supposed to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, maybe there's an
Yeah, this
airfield or
one's
something, but
interesting.
my brain, I'll admit, my brain initially, when I saw them kind of move, my brain wanting them to move in relation to each other, my first thought was, oh my God, it's a black triangle.
Right.
Right? But logic kicks in and I go, whoa. Why would, like, why would,
It's kind of funny that.
why would, is this video the video? Right? We're always looking for the video, the one that's going to prove
I'd be
everything. And I have to
interested-
sit there and go, is this the one? I don't think it is.
Hey, I think you should grab this video, download it, and put it. We should brighten the contrast, and try to see if we can see anything that the dark is.
Right. That's a good idea. Well, maybe instead of getting this compressed version, we can get
the original.
we get the original file from the
Yeah.
OP.
Because we can get
so-
some metadata from that as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's a very interesting one. I'll say that. So now again, I'm gonna ask this. We see the map. This is all happening in one sector. And what are we doing about it on an official capacity? What is because you're on that side of the world. What are you guys doing about this?
I mean, so UK is not doing nothing. We've got a whole host of stuff going on here to do with our prime minister and the current leadership. So like our current government doesn't give a shit. I've never heard anybody in the current government ever even talk about aerospace or anything. Like it's not a popular subject here.
Why? It's
Because-
you guys are
Because
all
I'll be
popular
honest,
about it.
because our country is bankrupt. If you want the
So
honest truth.
it's
No one
not
cares
that-
about UFOs when there's kids starving, right? So
Right, but that's not to say the population isn't interested, because my second biggest viewership for the podcast is in the UK.
I mean, the people care. I'm not saying the people care, but like the people caring doesn't mean anything. I mean, 3 million people just signed a petition to not have digital ID, and the government turned around and went, "Yeah, we're doing it anyway."
Right.
So like, it's not like the people's enthusiasm for a subject really means anything in terms of policy.
Right.
or position or approach by the MOD or any of these outfits.
Okay. Well, I think you guys should start like getting something together. I'm not sure if is that considered like so Norway, Sweden. Is this happening anywhere else aside? Because I feel like I've heard many other places are.
I mean,
referenced.
it probably is. It's been a few days since I saved this on October 3rd. So whether there have been more, I don't know. It's been a busy week, so it's something that for next episode I will be looking at this last week and the next week of events. So if it's continued, maybe I can get a bigger map and make it more extended so we can track it all the way around. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Something I can build out. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay, so the next one we got this is just a bit of a palate cleanser. I'm a photography nut and I'm a weather nut. An astronaut on the ISS took photos of a hurricane from the space station, and I just thought I would share them because, oh lordy, like, oh lordy.
Yeah, can you put is there any way to go full screen on it?
No.
On the pictures? No.
No.
Damn, that's
It's
wild. Look at that.
Right?
Look at the power of look at the raw power.
There's an enhanced version of the same picture. Like people will spend an entire career chasing that shot. I'm not even kidding. Like that that astronaut yeah, right? Like you have, I mean, this is the only place you can get that angle, but like holy shit.
But more people are gonna be able to go up there, you know, in the years to come, like with like SpaceX and you know, Katy Perry going up there and kissing daisies, right?
Right.
So more people that are interested and also like would be smart enough to like get these types of like get these kinds of photos like with a real camera. Like something that's powerful, like not just something that's like, you know, laying around the spacecraft, right? Like bring something like, oh my God, because these pictures just remind you like that is like and that astronaut just went up. So, well, you know, we can kind of segue with this too. Is that astronaut that just recently went up, and there was a bunch of articles about it, and he went up, and then when he came down, he was talking about how like we're all kind of being like not lied to. He's not saying that, even though that's how they titled the article. But he was saying like we're all being so stupid. He's like, I looked at the Earth, and you can see the atmosphere of the Earth, and it's super thin, and that is all. Like it's small and it's fragile and it's delicate, and that's the only thing that keeps us protected, right? From the space, like UV rays, not and just space in general. Like they're just we wouldn't be here without the atmosphere, and it's so delicate, and we just treat, you know, we treat the Earth this certain way, and I think a lot more people need to have that kind of perspective, that overview effect.
I agree.
Go to a observatory, and when you get above the clouds, like go to the one in like Hawaii or LA, or go to one of those ones where you can go above the clouds, and that's the closest thing you can get to it without like getting in a spacecraft or getting in a plane. But even if you're on a plane, just look out the window when you're really at high cruising altitude, and you get like that kind of. It's not nearly as close to like that guy, whoever's taking this picture, but our Earth, we've been given paradise, and you know what's really interesting about it is, you know, if you were to look at one side of it, it's just ocean. It's just the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're mostly a water world.
Yeah.
We're at the whim.
I was struck by that. Like I ended up kind of getting my own overview effect by looking at a lot of 22K satellite images. Anybody can go and look at these, by the way. You can just go on the National Hurricane Center website and look at every 10 minutes you get a fresh 22K image of the Earth.
Ooh.
And so I've done it. So I'm looking at a developing storm in the tropical Atlantic, but instead of using the straight on goes east camera, I'll use the goes west camera, rotate it, so I'm looking like over the curvature as the sun's. It's
right.
You can like, it's the closest you can come while being at your desk to being in space. It's really cool. So you get that kind of overview of the macro systems that make up weather patterns and whatnot.
Right. All right. Well, that was pretty cool, man.
Right.
I really appreciate you fucking sharing that, because I like that. I like those kind of I like this kind of pictures. So and that kind of stuff. It is a good palette cleanser. You were right.
Yeah, I thought after all the drone stuff, is just zoom out, get like a little zoom
Yeah.
out.
All right.
So
Next up, what?
the next up is videos that you think are real but are not.
Woo! I don't know why I did that, but I thought
It caught
it
me
was
off guard.
you queued it up.
It's
So,
okay.
well, I'm sorry. What is this?
Right. So this video, I saw it. Not this. This is one of the posts, but I saw this going like super viral, and I watched it and was just like, okay, all right. Let me put it full screen for you. It says audio with it too,
Whoa.
and I was just like, what is this? This is interesting.
Whoa.
Until I saw the ending, and I was like, oh wait a second.
What the hell is that?
So they portal out something. Oof.
Oh, so this is like so you think someone's faking this?
Yes. Absolutely. Because I didn't at first. I was like, this is kind of weird, but then I saw the warp and I was like, I need to look more deeply into this.
Yeah, obviously
because
that's the first indicator that it's like
right.
Your first is like, yep, that's fake.
Well, it's more that like I saw so many people like taking it as, oh my god, this is real, because people on the internet are silly. So here is a report from 2013 from C News in Germany, I think it is, or a French website reporting on in Germany. So from 2013, reporting on this exact video, which has been debunked many times. So like people sharing it as if it's some new video. So like again? This, several triangular objects reported in the night sky over Norway. Hashtag drones, hashtag UFO. So it's trying to capitalize on this drone stuff going on. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing the right tab there. Share this tab instead. There we go. So share several triangular objects in the night sky over Norway.
To be fair, not to be fair, because I think this is bullshit, but you'll often see that in the UFO community. Like there's these accounts that they're constantly posting like whatever is labeled a UAP. They just repost it as a UAP. Like they take videos from 2021 and they'll say it's happening yesterday. Like it's just like there's so many accounts out there like that. And I'm not saying there's anyone specific. I'm talking about dedicated accounts. It's like UAP videos. Like
I see this all the time. They'll post one of these videos, make a declarative statement about what it is, where it was, what it was doing, and then when you challenge it, they go, "Oh, just asking questions, man." Oh,
yeah.
And I'm like,
but
no,
you're what you're doing is you're a play. I don't hate the game. Like don't hate the player, hate the game, right? I'm not hating the player. I'm just telling you what you're doing, right? It's like people like to see that kind of stuff. That's the echo chamber we've created on the online UFO community. Is like every day we need to have something. Like even to the fact where you and I were trying to come up with topics and we're like, oh, it was a slow week in the UAP field. Like, dude, they didn't have these things 25 years ago. Like we would not, like the community is so oversaturated and overwhelmed with like videos and stuff. And then we complain when there's a lack of new whistleblowers. And then that same day, one comes out.
True.
So it's that
made me laugh earlier. It was funny because we were having that discussion and then I literally go onto YouTube and I see.
Me too.
Yeah, I was like, there we go.
But yes, and we'll get to that. So interesting video. So we see that it's been clearly debunked. All right.
Yes.
Anything else?
So his. Oh wait, we'll do the next debunk one first. So, Chris Leto. I want to preface this that Let me put it back on the camera. There we go. The audience, I know that Chris Leto broke a guitar and had an unhinged meltdown in the middle of the night. Let's just put that to the side for a second and listen to him do some science, because science is immutable.
Yeah, but as long as I've known Chris, I've known him to be a pretty outstanding guy and someone who really takes the topic seriously. And I've done some stupid things on stream too, not to that degree, but you know, there was a time where I was doing, you know, podcasts on the West Coast, and I was staying up till 1 in the morning one night, 4 a.m. the next night, 2 a.m. the next night, all during COVID. And there was nights where I was falling asleep on stream. Like, I wouldn't say that that's the same, but it's embarrassing, but it doesn't define you as a person.
Right, and I'm not trying to define him by that. I just know that if I don't preface me sharing his video and his input, that inevitably we'll have comments or we'll have messages saying, Chris Leto did this, right? So I'm just I know. I'm fully aware. I watched it when it happened. Anyway, moving on. Let's actually play the video. This is 2 minutes out of his analysis of the Hellfire UAP, following on from our analysis last week, where we had a discussion about it being a balloon and the laser guidance and stuff.
And using a surface to ground missile. Surface to ground missile.
So I looked at. I've heard other people. So other people commented to me this week that there are different different setups for the Hellfire missile launcher and the pod. So like there's different targeting systems and there are different setups for it. So it's not a regular setup, but you can use it as air-to-air, which that's how it was used in this case. So it's interesting, but it's like I showed in the last show, like it's not unheard of. This was the third time in 26 years, or 24 years, and there are specific airframe setups where you can do it that way. So I don't know for sure what it was, but there are ways to do it that way. Anyway, enough of my word salad. Here's Chris Leto and his word salad.
So 24,529 feet is the altitude, looks like, of the Reaper aircraft, and that matches. So now we have all the information we need to properly range this object. So if we say the Reaper is at 24,529 feet, and then we use the object line of sight at impact of 3.1 nautical miles, and then the sea line of sight, so right after.
So we have to stop every 20 seconds to give some kind of commentary. You're muted, by the way. Okay, I will continue playing.
Impact of 6.1 nautical miles, then that gives us an altitude of the object for 12,200 feet. So essentially right in between the Reaper and the surface. And you can calculate the look down angle of that is going to be 41.4 degrees. So that seems to match what we're seeing in the pot. So you're looking down 41.4 degrees. The object is at 12,200 feet. And so that allows us to calculate the parallax, because it looks like the object's moving very fast, right? But the way it works, a Reaper flies around 200 knots and he's up at altitude. So that's what, 240 miles an hour approximately. The object is right in between the Reaper and the ground. So it is going to appear that the waves are going by at 0.97 times the speed of the Reaper. So essentially the same speed of the Reaper. So we should see the waves passing behind the object at around 200 knots, or around, say 220, 240 miles per hour. And that's basically what it looks like. So based on the range data, the speed behind the object is parallax. It looks like it's traveling fast, but it's not. If you look at the Meteo for that date, right, October 30th, 2024, basically around 90 degrees temperature out there during the day. And you have surface winds from 10 to 15 knots, which means you can easily have winds at 40 knots up at 12,000 feet. And that's what Marek von Rennenkamp actually calculated, was the object going 40 knots.
So that's a pretty good explanation of how the parallax is working on that camera. And I think that
Interesting.
the math works out. So, I mean, if you can't really argue with mathematics, right? So
Right. Yeah.
that seems like
so-
pretty slam dunk to me.
But what were they trying to say that it was going faster than it seemed? I mean, was that ever in debate that it was going that fast? Or was it just the fact that it hit it and bounced off? Like I don't remember anyone claiming that this thing was going 1,000 miles an hour.
No.
So what is the actual? What is he? So do you see what I'm saying? Like, what I don't remember in Congress like them making a big deal about any of the speed that it was moving at. That. So he's essentially doing.
So what the Marek put out an estimation of about 40 knots, which at that it's about 50 miles an hour. So at that altitude, that's around the average wind speed at that altitude. So if you've got something that's buoyant and suspended in that airflow, it's going to be moving at roughly the speed of the airflow. So the parallax, along with the actual lateral movement at 40 knots, that's why when it's hit, it has a bit of an arc because it's still moving forward, right, at 40 knots. But now it's not buoyant anymore. So now it's falling forward and gravity is taking over.
Okay.
That's the movement of the object within the frame. And then the parallax of the waves behind it make it look like it's translating a lot faster. That's why it looks so dramatic and it got shown in Congress, because it looks dramatic.
Okay,
But
I see what you're saying.
fully explainable within the optics of the actual camera.
Okay, but let's also be clear that I don't think anyone was actually like saying it was moving at tremendous speeds. Like I really do want to be clear about that, because what everyone's is obviously talking about is the fact that what looks like an orb, just the same things that we just saw on other videos, like let's just say that, which could have been anything, right?
Right.
That it seems like what we're seeing, and then something hits it and bumps off of it in a weird way. So again, I see what they're doing. I do see where we are going with that, and how that would put the likelihood of it being a balloon and not traveling super fast, and like a more dramatic video is the result of that. I see what's being done.
Well, it's the angle and lack of context that makes
Okay.
it look dramatic.
Got
And yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, with the Hellfire missile, I am, again, I like Anna Paulina Luna. She was just on Concrete. Sorry, Danny Jones. They don't. It's not Concrete anymore. But Danny Jones. Luna was just on Danny Jones, and she had remarked about this video, and because Danny asks, what's the craziest thing that you've seen, that you can tell us about, and she said this video, and again, may that say what you will, but
It's painful to hear.
it is.
Okay,
It is.
like
In the context that we're putting it right now, it does seem painful to hear.
it irked me when maybe irk is the wrong word. It pained me to see her on Danny Jones, and Danny Jones not really give much pushback or
No,
go,
he did not.
Hey Anna, how does the targeting system for the Hellfire work?
No.
You
But
know?
she also doesn't. Well, you know what? She does have a military background. People forget that.
Yeah.
And her husband's like a SEAL or something. So like she knows what she's talking about with this kind of stuff, and that's why. And obviously, she's a very attractive woman, and
I did see that Ivan Hanel was posting about her.
he just yells at her and calls her stupid. and it's like, come on, Ivan.
I like Ivan, but
I
he
love
seems to
Ivan.
he seems to like yell a lot. not like yell, but
love
he's a little like loose cannon on the Twitter there, and I'm like,
Yeah, I love
I mean,
Ivan too.
freedom of speech, more power to you, but like, I don't. I hope he considers the fact that sometimes opining on these things devalues his opinions on other things.
It does. It does. When you
Right?
act
So it's
that,
like,
it does.
yeah.
Yeah. But for the record, I do, Ivan. You know, I welcomed him. I think I got him in a late November slot to come back on. So
Right on.
I really enjoy Ivan. I just with some of the Luna stuff, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But there was it. I do want to kind of go in a side note. Actually, wait. No, is there anything else?
I got videos.
Because we're at 56 minutes already. So
I got a couple more. I got a couple weird things in the sky to share.
okay, all right. Let's go down to the next weird things in the
all right.
sky.
So this was
Purely a visual.
You're gonna be like, wait, what the fuck is that?
Oh, I saw this. I saw this.
Right?
I saw this.
What is this?
I
want to know. I need to know. If anybody in the chat knows what the heck this thing is, please
It's that
tell us.
same effect. It's that same effect though, with it's that same effect of like the Elizondo crop circle thing, or like the craft, right? It's I feel like it's nature tricking us, or it's AI augmented.
Well, no, this was so this is from an actual video where these people went.
What?
Here we go. Yeah, so this is some people went up on Tikaboo and were taking. I think it's Tikaboo. They were taking videos of Area 51 and on Nellis Range and stuff, and they captured this on Nellis Range of this big rig truck, like. See, here's the gray big rig truck.
Yeah.
Big rig. It's on some kind of mount, and then it's hoisted up. I don't. I mean, it looks weird. It looks like a UFO with a beam, right? Like it's abducting a cow, but it's not. It's some kind of
no, I know. It's
stand or
sort of
something.
Pathway. But
I think it reminds me of
video. I mean, that last picture.
The last one. Okay.
Does it not look like a craft that like is stuck in the ground?
No.
Go back. No, not that. Not that. The last picture of the thing. This one. Doesn't it kind of look like something that's like crashed? Kind of. Or is that just me?
No, I think if that was the only photo that we had, then yeah, I'd be like, what is that? But when you see it in context where there's with the clearer kind of contrast between the background
and
it.
What am I seeing here?
This is it. I don't know. This is why I was like, what the fuck is that? This goes in my weird shit in the sky folder because I don't know what this is.
That is but I thought people were like debunking it and stuff.
I
thought that someone said when I first saw it, I guess maybe I saw the wrong thread. But that's one of the problems with modern day social media with AI is like everything you're seeing, you're just being like, oh, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI. Like that's how my brain's working now.
Right. Well, AI is like slowly melting our idea of like consensus reality. So
yeah,
so the people that posted these photos, they did not credit the original author. So we are going to do that. We are going to credit the original authors. Uncanny Expeditions. They have a YouTube channel. I'm going to give them a follow right there. There you go.
Wait a second. Uncanny Expeditions is they're the ones who put this out?
Yeah. They went out to Area 51. Oh god, I went off my tab. There we go.
Okay, wait. So this picture is actually from a source that's like people know about.
Yeah, this is where I'm like, what is it? What does it mean?
It wasn't mean. This might be more crazy than originally than I thought.
Right. Oh, sorry. This isn't on Nellis. This was on Hallandale radar cross section test range.
If you're listening on a podcast platform, like you definitely got to check out the YouTube on this.
This is
So-
if I'd have just read the caption before we started looking at the crazy photos. So this is on Lockheed Martin's radar cross-section test range. So this is Lockheed
What
testing.
the fuck?
This is Lockheed testing a body in a radar thing.
So could this be could this be like the next gen?
Yeah, this would be a next-gen fighter body or
next-gen
something.
fighter, but also it could be using propulsion. Are they saying that are they saying that they saw propulsion at all?
No. So this has just been hoisted up to a scannable level. Now, this goes back to what we were saying earlier about there being civilian radar and military radar that's lower, because that is definitely not high enough to be triggering commercial radar. That is, yes, it's on a purpose-built test range, but it's that radar system that's below the commercial one that we were talking about that probably exists but isn't public.
Okay.
And that's how that's how they test. And
Yeah,
think about it. If they're if they're
radar-
testing that low as well, right? Like,
Well, radar is can't, I mean, you could use radar in a like directed way, right? There's directed radar, sonar, stuff like that we know about that works at a lower
yeah,
level. So
right.
let's just assume that they're using some of that, and
Well, that's what they'll be doing on that test site.
that's very interesting, though. That is
Yeah.
a very interesting looking craft. So I wonder. It's crazy though, because Lockheed Martin, they don't have to say anything. Like,
Right.
you
That's
can you can accuse them of anything, and they don't have to fucking say anything. Like, they can probably, like, the likelihood would be they'd turn around and threaten you. Like,
right.
what do you mean you're on? Because I'm assuming, are they on like property they shouldn't be?
To get these pictures, no, I don't think they were. I think they were
Okay.
just outside the flight range. But it's
All right,
interesting.
well, this one's very interesting.
Hmm.
That's
like-
way more official than I thought.
Like that angle looks like an iconic UFO image, but it's not, right?
What really, what it looks like the perfect like Calvine style photo. What really throws me off is that white streak is it's giving you like this weird like cartoony effect but it's like the depth of it's off.
Right. Well, it's all it is just the bracket.
It looks like a
that's-
path, but it's a crane.
Ye-
Like it looks
kind-
like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
road cutting
It's
into.
it's something that's gone like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's really funny.
I just realized the audience couldn't see me demonstrating that, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's a crane for anyone who.
So,
it looks like
Ne-
a dirt, like
next
sand right.
on the list of weird shit in the sky, this is from England. There was a weird light. It's probably just a meteorite,
Meteor.
but yeah,
Because there's a bunch of those going around too. People caught some really crazy ones. I wish I bookmarked them. That's really cool looking. Did you ever see that one of the girl on the roof?
yeah.
That's a fucking if that isn't the most perfect fucking
Right.
video. Then
Like it's
I don't
her,
know what
fa-
is.
like
Her
the,
face, everything.
like the lighting through the clouds, the look
Oh
of
my
awe on her
God.
face. Like it's one of those moments. It's like
You
it is
can't
just
believe
one of
you just
it's just
captured
one of
that.
the greatest clips ever captured, and it was by accident.
Yeah,
So-
that shit blew me away. You could
Yeah.
put like a Hans Zimmer theme to that, and I'll cry. Like, put fucking the Dark Knight theme to it,
That's
I'll
funny.
cry. That one's cool. Yeah, that's definitely a meteor or something. But
So-
obviously, in the news right now, guys, is 3i Atlas. I did write and film and voiced a story, a what if. I want to make that very clear. So if it wasn't clear to anyone, so today I put out a what if video. Like, it's a complete hypothetical story. I base it with fact. Like, I draw some facts of like the composition and the government shutdown I added in last minute during a rewrite because it was like, it's odd, but obviously it has nothing to do with it, I don't think. But Yeah, so I put that video out. Definitely check it out. It's only like 12 minutes long. It's something I want to do more of. I really enjoyed writing the story as if it like what do I think a moment like this would really turn into and look like? Like from a societal level to, and I'm just scratching the surface on it, a societal level, but also to like a military intelligence level. Like
Right.
what would happen? What would the divide be? And I
Mm,
barely scratched the surface on that, but it's fun. It was fun.
that sounds interesting.
I was gonna call it the Tesseract, the cube, but I thought it was like too much into the Marvel because I'm already using What If.
Yeah, that's a little,
So then
little
if I
too
also
much.
called it the
Yeah.
Tesseract, like that would have been like probably some, I don't know, copyright, but definitely check that out. You know, or you can click the thing. I'll put a little card right here so that you can click that if you want to check out the video. But then come back here to the live stream. Actually, no, it wouldn't be a live stream at that point. So never
I
mind.
mean, if you're watching right now, hit the
Yeah.
like button.
Yes, and we you know we really we we didn't do last week, so I think that threw off the marketing of it. So I didn't really, we didn't know. Also, I had that car situation, so we didn't know if we were gonna actually go live today. So I really appreciate that people actually even still showed up because
Build it and they will come.
yeah, build it
So
and they'll
I
come.
I have one final video before we. So I have one final video and then a quick overview of this new witness that Corbell put out. Those are my last two things to share. I know that you wanted to get into Borland. That's in the title of the video. So
Yeah, it's literally in the title. I didn't know you had this many videos.
I've been busy. I've been
It's been
collecting
2
things.
weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a video. I want to. I guess one of those like this is probably gonna be fake. It's probably fake, but it's interesting. Apparently, it's from 9 years ago in Poland. So here we go.
It's 9 years ago,
Um,
Poland, 2016. Oh,
The music
Jesus.
is the music's copyrighted, so I'll mute it. But
What is that?
it just stopped the turbine, floated on by, and then the turbine starts up again.
Oh,
Like what?
either that's impeccable timing, or that is very interesting. But that's
I mean,
probably fake, yeah.
it's probably fake, but I
But
don't
it's also
know. Like
from 2016. Like, can we confirm that?
I wasn't able to confirm.
Is the video
when
from
it was, but-
2016 on YouTube or something?
That's what I mean. The claim on the tweet says it's from Poland 2016.
Okay. Well, the tweet was obviously not in 2016, though.
Yeah, the tweet was recent, but
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one, but it also
so,
gives
yeah.
me like the same vibes as like the cousin brother videos.
right, and that's why I prefaced it like this is probably fake. But the thing that interested me as an editor and a camera person is
It does.
I don't smell keyframes. That's
I
what
know.
interested me, and I
And
was
it
like,
does
wait
go
a minute.
behind the poles.
It goes
and
behind it, and it translates perfectly. There's no
with the
keyframing.
wobble. With the,
And
like,
also there's no
that
keyframing
handheld.
on the actual turbine, so like it's not like it's artificially held there in an edit,
Yeah, and it's not
because
wiggling.
it's translating with the shake, so
Yes.
it does stop and it's moving with the shake, and then it carries on. Everything aligns.
It's very
so
hard
either
to
it-
do that.
It is very hard to do that.
You would
So
have to be very, very professional to make something like this even look decent.
Like,
Like,
look how that's
there's
tracking
nothing-
with the shake. Like that's
Yeah.
in lens. That's happening in
And
camera.
the shake, the object is stable. See that's so what you normally look for, anyone watching, is the object itself and anything that's being manipulated in the video. Now, the turbines, them stopping might, like, let's say that could be a real, like, that's the real video and that's the base video. They would have to insert the craft in a way that it would be able to go behind those poles, which are obviously at an angle, and it's giving angle of observation. There's depth there, and what goes behind both of them. So, and what you'd look for as a sign would be the object moving with the camera shakes, because that's like someone putting it in and then having to artificially make it move.
Right.
So,
Well,
but this doesn't.
the
It's
problem I have,
lens.
yeah, right. Well, the problem I have with that is that you can tell when it's inserted because the keyframing will never 100% match the micro movements that you make with the lens on a pixel level. Like you zoom in enough to a pixel level, you will see it jumping around because you're not matching it on unless you spend hundreds of hours.
But why the shitty like shake? Like what? Why are you not able to like what's the shake always throws me off, because like it's like why are you filming something like that terribly? Like no one's that bad, right? At filming.
Right. I mean, it depends. If you look at the original, oh, I'm not on the tab. One second.
Play it through once.
So like the scale's pretty far away, hey?
Yeah, but it's like shaking.
Also, yeah, but think about what were camera phones like in 2016? They didn't have a lot of image stabilization for one. So
it's hard to like for me to think like that, because 2016 feels like it was yesterday. Like
it was a
because
decade
Trump was
ago, my guy.
president, But cameras weren't that bad in 2016. Like it would be, even in 2016, if you showed me that video, I'd be like,
right. But this could be
hard to
if this is in Poland, this could be like some poor farmer that's got an iPhone 5, right, or an iPhone 3GS or some shit.
Okay,
so like,
okay, fair enough.
It's interesting. Like it's more the way that windmill just stops dead,
and then it goes behind both. So think about that. Holy
and then the
shit.
moment it translates from outside of the front, the kind of in front
It's
of it,
splitting them, but it's also going behind them. So that looks like it's. But could it be like a balloon?
So I think this has actually gone under that first one.
Oh yeah.
So it's got the first one. It's stopped. It's then translated, at least in terms of the.
But then it goes behind the big pole.
Goes behind the big pole, but then
behind the big pole at the end.
Once it clears like between that bottom fin and the pole, then it starts.
Video cuts out. Like, why would you stop filming there?
I mean, yeah, there's that.
This thing's clearly about to make a pass closer to you, right?
Right.
It's coming at you. Why would you stop filming at that point? I mean, again, I don't know. Maybe like because again, I guess we can't. But it really does. That shakes me. You know what I mean? Why at that point are you stopping? Because
this is a repost of a 9-year-old video. So that, for all we know, there probably is more. And if anybody watching knows the original source for this video, please post it. Because I couldn't find it. I looked around and I couldn't find it.
I'll do a deep dive on the couple of the videos that we watched today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Awesome.
So that one's interesting.
It is.
It's got some flaws, I think.
Ooh. So let's it does have some flaws. It has some. It's questionable. I don't know which way I lean on that because it's hard to tell. Borland.
All right.
So this was what was in the title. Probably what everybody's tuning in for is our thoughts on Borland.
Yeah. So I have a video, and so Dylan Borland testified at the September 9th, 2025 UFO hearings. He then went on to do a 2-part episode on Weaponized with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell. Dylan Borland is a very interesting person, and his testimony, they were able to go. So apparently he only had 6 days or something like that, or that's what Corbell says, 6 to 10 days to get his testimony ready. So again, we're talking. So people are calling him a UFO whistleblower, like Luna again on Danny Jones referred to him, or actually, you know what's funny? When she saw the video of all the people that were testifying, she called that group our whistleblowers. And George Knapp's in that group. So like I don't know if she's just being coy and like kind of like that those are our whistleblowers. But again, it gives me this like sorry, again, we need because we know that every single one of them went through Dobser. And Jeffrey Nucitelli went through Dobser, I believe. I'm almost certain. All of these people.
Wait, hold up. When you say went through DOPSA, for what, in what context?
They're for what they can speak about publicly, they're going through Dobser.
So the statements that they provided to Congress were cleared by DOPSA to not contain anything classified.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's what from
That
what I
doesn't
understand.
mean any of it's truthful. It just means it's not classified.
It's not classified,
Right.
and they're able to talk about it. Yes, like journalists. It may. I could be wrong about the.
I mean, I could go to DOPSA with a recipe for a cake, and because it's not classified, they're like, "Yeah, you can go talk to the press about it." That I don't think I said this on the last episode. I think people misunderstand what DOPSA's role is. Just because DOPSA says it's not classified doesn't mean that anything in it is remotely true. It just means that there's nothing classified. That's literally all it means.
So again, what?
Yeah.
And this has been a big problem for me is that the UFO community tends to like to use the word whistleblower because it's sexy, because it's against the man, and it's ironic that our members of Congress also want to use that word because it's not by definition, you are not a whistleblower if you go through the Dobser process, the DOD pre-publication, meaning the government and the military industrial complex is saying what you're talking about is not classified by any of our standards, right? And you can talk about it with journalists, and you can write books about it, and you can testify to Congress, whatever. Like that's not a whistleblower. A whistleblower.
Right. That is the military interacting with the First Amendment. That's all that is. It's
Correct.
you can go and talk about this because it's not classified.
Yeah.
Is it true? No, it's absolutely not true. But you can go talk about it.
They're doing the right thing. Right? There's no doubt about it. They're doing the right thing. They're protecting themselves. I get it. But the UFO community likes to cherry pick these two statements that they're protecting themselves and they're whistleblowers. It's no. That is not the
If we're going
thing.
by the definition, then as much as it pains me to say, David Grush is the only person that's actually gone through the whistleblowing process. Like, in terms of coming out and actually blowing the whistle and definitionally, like...
I don't know if he even falls into the category.
I mean, I don't mean with the public. I mean with the UAP task force, which I guess had their own agenda.
Well,
and then Arrow. But in terms of people...
Yeah.
So, in terms of people coming out within the system, I'm not talking about David Grush biologics, all that bullshit. I'm talking about reprisals and the legal fuckery that he encountered and he spoke about. That's whistleblowing because he's talking about and we'll get into this a little bit later, the Yankee Blue and all of this stuff. That's the whistleblowing. Everything else about UFOs and aliens, that's just like fluff. That has nothing to do with the act of whistleblowing. But because he talks about that stuff in the same in the same context as having gone through the whistleblowing process to sound off against these programs going on, right. People misconstrue the two. And
so we have a video. I have a couple of them, but so this is part of Borland's testimony, and I do agree with you that. So well, to speed things up a little bit here, this video is I think it's like 5 minutes long.
Okay.
So, and it's just a screen recording. So you might see like when my thing comes down and stop screen recording.
I
'cause
mean,
I didn't,
no,
I didn't,
nobody's
didn't-
gonna care about that.
I didn't edit the videos.
Like,
I could have
it's fine.
trimmed it, but yeah,
It's cool. We
You
get the context from the video. That's all we need.
yeah.
will be for
You
2
know,
weeks. I'll
wait,
process in a few days.
Pause it a sec. So, to anybody watching, just a warning: you may see Tyler's phone screen. Don't be offended.
Yeah, don't be offended.
Just don't be offended.
Yeah, but there's nothing there anyway.
I go and I'll process early, and as soon as I sign the paperwork, I
This is via
walk out of the
Weaponized
office, and the company that
podcast.
hired me contacts me, and they say your clearance has been erased again.
Can you turn it down a bit?
So I lose my clearance in May. That's May of 2018. The company that hired me went to their prime, which was at that point CACI, C-A-C-I.
Is that better?
And for about a month, they
Yeah.
are working, at least they're telling me they're working on getting my clearance fixed. And in early mid-June, I am contacted by the company that hired me, and they said, we are unable to get your clearance back in the system. We have to move on to other candidates. Good luck out there. We don't think you're ever going to get your clearance fixed. That night, I was invited out, and I was getting ready to sell my vehicles. I had pulled my 401k at this point because I knew I was done. I had filed for unemployment, which they denied me for. And on the way home, I totaled my car, and there was a police investigation, and the police had told me in confidence that my brake lines were cut. They wanted it to look like a suicide, which goes into what the VA was doing with me and the medical issues and the doctors that had resigned and all that.
So you leave somewhere you were at. Next thing you know, you're pushing your brake to the floor.
So, he totaled his car, and
Okay,
That's it.
he left out some key details from that though.
yeah, and I don't think it's my place to say anything. But
What do you mean?
later on, I believe the police are involved with that situation, and I believe he was at the bar before that. And
He was at a
like,
bar before that. They found the vehicle and tracked him down to his house.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just knew that I just knew that he had been drinking, and so people had put into question why, like, did he get a DUI? And I don't think, like, listen, that's not my place to ask. And even if he did, I'm not saying that doesn't disregard what
Well,
he's saying.
I think it goes to
He's
his
in a
state
of
he-
mind.
Right. Well, this is what I mean. It's going to his state of mind. He's alleging all of this targeted behavior against him in the same sentence that he says that he totaled his car, which from the police report was a
I
DUI. So I feel like that's important information in context
don't think
with
he,
with everything that's going on with him. Apparently there's someone else in the car too.
oh, I didn't see any official documentation, so
I saw an analysis by someone on Twitter
I will
who got the police report.
yeah.
So there's no reference apparently there's no reference in the police report to cut brake lines.
Well,
The way that police work,
he
police aren't
talks
just
about
going to turn
that.
up and say, I'm not charging you because someone tried to kill you.
No.
Like, that's not how police work.
Well, what do you mean?
Think of it this way, right? You're a police officer responding to a car crash. You turn up, you find a car totaled but no driver. So you end up tracking down the driver to their house, but then you turn, so you don't arrest them then and there for abandoning this car and or doing a breathalyzer, I guess. But then after some investigation a few days later, you then go and tell the person, we're not arresting you because your brake lines were cut, ignoring the fact that he abandoned his vehicle after crashing it. Like, that's what doesn't square in my head. Like, a police officer's not going to let that shit slide. Like, does that make sense to you?
It does, but
Well, the cop would let it slide that he abandoned his car that he totaled instead of waiting for, like, the police
yeah.
after drinking. Like, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense. He says there's no, there was a police report. He said that he didn't have it to, like, share, but someone else apparently has got a copy of it.
Then how did they know he was drinking if he didn't get caught by the police until later?
This
it
is
could
it.
have.
Well, because he said he was at a bar.
Okay, yeah. Fuck it. Jesus Christ.
But this
So
is what I mean. It doesn't
this
make
is not-
sense.
but this is not what I wanted to. I guess it's good for you to get out. Okay. I'm okay. I had a night when I was drinking that yes,
Right. I'm not disputing, like, people DUI all the fucking time. That's not my issue. My issue is that it comes in context in what he just said directly after this whole string of targeted behavior towards him, like a targeted individual kind of thing. And then in the next sentence, it's, so I left, and on my way home, I totaled my car, which A, is a lie. He was driving home from a bar, not from work. And two, in context with all these other targeted actions towards him, which could, if you look at it from the other side, screams paranoia. And so it's like, you can look at it two ways. That either he really was being fucked with, and his brake lines were cut, and he had been drinking, and then he crashed because he'd been drinking and his brake lines were cut, or he's paranoid about all of this behavior. He then goes out and totals his car, and then has to think up some fucking way to get to fold that into this targeted individual narrative.
Okay, understood. Yeah. Okay. So definitely, and that needs to be. I guess that would need to be.
I'd like for. I mean, I see that Dylan's
we need to
active on X and
separate
stuff.
We need to separate this. Like we need to. This part of it, like, yeah, I would.
Well, he alleges that BAE Systems cut his brakes. Like, that's a hefty allegation.
That is a pretty. That is a pretty.
Right.
Pretty big allegation, because.
But then he leaves out key information from his allegations, like, I had left a bar, not I had left work. Like, that's a key difference in a story. So, I mean, that all of that is aside to, like, maybe he was being fucked with, and this, I'm going to get into what I think he was actually encountering in this job, which you might disagree, but we'll get there.
Probably do.
But,
I think. So, all right.
So I don't have a link to someone's asking, is there a link?
Yep. When you get home, and
I can get a link to the analysis by the person that got the report.
Yeah, because I think we
and
need to
and
see
this
the police
person.
report. That's why I don't want to really comment. I have not seen the police
Well,
report.
this person, the person that did the analysis, they've been very solid before. So it's when people are reading it and going, okay, this person's been very good before. So
that's why I clipped all this part, because I saw that this was going to be a point of contention in the story, and because the actual story is that he sees a black triangle, or I think it's so. Do you know the? So he saw a light.
He saw a craft over Langley Air Base from a position where he didn't even have line of sight to the flight line. That's a whole other thing. So his alleged sighting when he's smoking at this gazebo.
Yeah.
And he sees something over the flight line.
Him and this new guy have that both in common. They were both smoking cigarettes when it happened.
Right.
Both the weaponized whistle. The
new guy. The new guy.
Yeah, the new guy he bummed a cigarette and then he went out and saw what he saw. So cigarettes and military. They just apparently that's when UFOs are out, is when someone's out having a smoke break.
Right. So
So anyway,
that his site. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. We're good.
And they either wonder, were you sober? Is everything okay? And you invite them over. You said, come do a breathalyzer.
Yep.
They said, well, it's going to take a while.
Yep.
We're going to contact you tomorrow. And then the lead investigator,
because he's definitively
officer
saying
in that case,
he
physically comes to your home and warns you that somebody tried to kill you. Your brake lines were cut.
He verbatim said the only reason I'm not charging you with a crime is because your brake lines were cut.
I'm not charging you for a crime because your brake lines were cut.
I don't think that's how police work.
We're not. Yeah, we've commented there.
police report
So
of the
that
total
that
car,
I'm
part.
just
and there's a
I'm
police
trying.
report of
So
a
I
licensed
see people in the
officer, which
chat
is I
getting
went
mad.
out with a
So
friend who
I'm
worked
gonna
for
find
the
this
agency.
analysis so we
I
can
had
work through
2-3 drinks playing pool over the night, had some wings on the way home, car
I don't
totaled.
want
Does
to
it say in
do it
any
now.
police report your brake lines were cut?
I have been searching for it, no. And this is what sucks
So he
is
does
this
not
is
have
the
the
most
police report,
damning,
is what
and
he
I know what
says.
was said to me, and this is
Right.
the only thing out of all the craziness that I do have evidence to that you guys have seen, these weird polygraph tests and VA tests and all this, but the police report verbatim saying that my brake lines were cut, I am still trying to
Yeah.
get proof of.
Exactly. That's a clear cut thing, right? It's like we can talk about the administrative terrorism, the bizarre psychological, I'd say, experiments that he had to endure.
You're working for BAE, but not really. You're working, that's the structure of this company. You're working for an agency. It's doing the same stuff.
Yep, it's called
Redacted.
I mean, you have covered positions, non-official covered positions, and even then,
redacted.
I love that. Like, you could have just cut that out, dude.
I know, right?
The redacted thing is like such a market.
Oh,
Like, it's
dear.
such a. Listen, I can't say I wouldn't do something like that because I think I would, but it's definitely like, I mean, it's you can just cut that out. Like, you could cut those and just like just dead cut it if it needed to be.
Right.
But they're choosing to.
Well, it makes
They-
it edgy.
It makes it
and-
look, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a filmmaking. It's like an editing thing.
then I'm starting to float down a river of classification and classified information, but basically I was
Your
non-official
paycheck is
covered.
from BAE.
Yes.
Is
What
there,
is
are there
BAE?
other people who aren't necessarily BAE government people
British
that you are
Aerospace Engineering.
Are you
It's-
sure?
I'm gonna double check, but
interacting with it?
100%.
Jesus,
your
There's
typing is
other
so
agencies
loud.
outside of the IC that I'm interacting
is.
with. There are other contractors I'm interacting
British
with. 'cause it's a way
Aerospace.
to-
and Marconi Electronic Systems, they merged to become BAE.
Okay.
So British, yeah, it's
So-
British Aerospace.
So why is he working for BAE?
Well, I guess they have contracts and stuff
Okay.
because they make
My question is, your
planes and
employer
missiles and
and
whatnot.
the secret
Got it.
employer know what you know. They know what you did. You've done it well, even though you feel guilty about it. Why wouldn't they take care of you and not want you to spill beans or go off the deep end?
So,
Why wouldn't they do that?
all right, now you're asking me my opinion, and this is my opinion. To be clear, I think at the time that all of this was happening and considering with what the VA was doing to me, what was on my official record, it is my opinion that it would have been very easy to discredit me publicly by saying this individual is delusional, look at all his medical records, he's a disgruntled employee, a liar, all of that. And then the problem became, though, especially when I came to Aero and spilled the beans, and then people found out I kept police reports and
But you just said you
outside of
didn't.
the IC that I
Ah! What did I just do? I fucking went. Sorry. I fucked it up.
it would have been very
second, we have
easy
to
to
find-
discredit
We have to, because I jumped out of place.
my official
It's further
record.
further on.
It is
Is it further on?
Yeah.
means, and then people found out I kept police reports, and
Okay, but he just told us that he didn't have.
Well,
the police report.
is he now alleging that there's been more than one incident with police during this sequence of events?
Interesting, because
Right.
that could also say, but that could also explain the police report that this analysis is of. Maybe it's a different event. That could also be said. If
More
that's
than-
what he's saying.
I mean, I found
voicemails
the
are on
I found the original analysis talking about it.
Yeah. 1 second.
my phone. You guys have heard that people found out very quickly that it was going to be very easy to discredit me when I was still under the belief that if I said anything, they would call me a Looney Tune. And then they found out how much I knew, what I could prove, and what I had. And it quickly became a problem of he is a danger.
Yeah,
Right.
we need to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bob Lazar kind
100%. And that's the thing that, that I notice a lot is that a lot
They
of
love to
what
bring
the
Lazar
types of reprisals that you have experienced in your line of work mimic the same tactics all the way back to 1989 when George was reporting on Bob Lazar. It's like just ways to discredit you and put you and look, I've seen all the evidence that you've provided. We've looked through it. I've talked to people that know you really well over these years. You're a solid individual or wouldn't be sitting here. So the
Oh my god, I'm so offended.
There's no like Pornhub or anything. That might be in one of them. I don't know.
Okay, so can I give you my take?
Well, 1 second.
Oh, you got another video? Is there one more?
You can begin your take because it's not letting me add anything for some reason.
Okay. So
Maybe I have to get rid of this one.
I have a theory about Borland and the other people he knows that have faced reprisals or have done things to themselves or whatever, like in terms of harm. I have a theory that what they encountered, beyond his initial quote unquote sighting that he couldn't have, that's a whole other thing. So his interactions within the classified system and the way and the reprisals and the weirdness and stuff, I think, and this is just my speculation and theory, I think he encountered Yankee Blue.
Okay.
Because
So what is again Yankee Blue is what?
so Yankee Blue was the I'm not sure if it was Air Force or I think it was Air Force. So it was like a psyop program within the military to convince
This is the
people that
this is the Oh, it's that one. Yankee Blue.
right
Is the
well or
the Wall
some
Street Journal
right
article.
yeah the Wall Street Journal
But I don't.
but or something maybe not Yankee Blue itself but something similar in that it starts profoundly affecting Dylan and these other people, but then when he starts to report it as real, then that becomes a security concern that one of their soldiers is dumb enough to fall for this psyop.
No. I mean, this is that has to, because I think that Wall Street Journal, that article, that explanation is such an insult to, I mean, if you're operating on the belief that that is actually a thing, then I guess, yeah, I mean, maybe that, maybe that could be the narrative. Assuming Yankee Blue's a thing and that's actually what he's encountering in the first place, and that would have to, I just don't believe that hazing ritual thing. I don't buy it. I do not think.
I'm trying to square the targeted actions towards him that he's describing, like his clearance being fucked with and not being able to get job, all of this stuff, all of this reactionary stuff. Trying to square that with, is that part of the hazing? Is that part of the psychological operation that was there to fuck with people? I mean, people have been fucking with people with UFOs since like the late 80s.
Doesn't make a difference. I mean, God forbid it is a hazing ritual. Then I mean, then we have some real legal action that they could take against the government, and that's fucking crazy. This Wall Street Journal article, I think, is a crock of bullshit. I think maybe there is a degree of like, I don't
So you don't think Yankee Blue is real?
I do not think that. What is the point of pulling this whole not practical joke, but the way they frame it is like, oh, like we'll get to see people if they're we fuck with them and tell them there's UFO and show them videos of it. It's like, it's kind of an insult to people's intelligence to think that they would never get told as their seniority went, that this was some sort of joke? That conversation seems to never have happened. Like, is the point of hazing and all that that kind of ritualistic thing is you end up becoming the person doing it. That's not what's happening here. They're becoming fucking whistleblowers, or quote unquote whistleblowers. I don't. So, I mean,
It's just so here's a good way to think about it, right? So the behaviors that he's saying that were exhibited towards him remind me a lot of what was done to Benowitz in terms just fucking with his mind, fucking with his job security, fucking with like his sanity,
okay, but that's
thinking
a
that he's being.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem. What?
But how does that say that he did not see a craft?
Well, because the location where he said he saw it doesn't actually have a line of sight to the flight line, like physically doesn't have a line of sight. So, unless he was mistaken of where he was, which he could have been, I'm not saying he didn't see anything, but where he said he saw it, he couldn't physically have seen it.
How do we know that?
That was people who know the base, because people that know Langley Air Force Base know that gazebo. And we're like, yeah, you can't see the flight line from there. What's he talking about?
But do we have any pictures do we have any proof other than just hearsay that says, because I think that's a totally one way of
you
can
look at it on you can look at it on a map.
Okay.
Where between the gazebo and where he says he saw it over the NASA hangar, he was very specific about where he saw this thing. Yes, this guy in the comments, man. Yes, you can know the line of sight on an airbase because you can literally use a fucking map. Like,
I don't think I don't think that. Yeah, I don't. I'm kind of. Well, I'm not with him. I'm with everybody.
Right. So, but he says it was low over the hangar. In order for it to be low over the hangar, there are buildings in the way from ground level to that height above the hangar. You can literally use a fucking protractor and work out the angle in the sky that you need to be looking at. There are buildings in the way. Like, jeez.
I think.
Like, am I losing my mind here? Like, you can literally just look at the angle that he would have had to have looked at that location, and there are buildings, unless they've built these buildings since he saw it, which could be a possibility, but like,
I don't think I never questioned his sighting. I do not think.
I think we should question every aspect of everything.
When
people who know the airbase come forward and say, "Hey, I also smoke at that gazebo," you can't see that exact, like the space where he said he saw it above the NASA hangar. You cannot see that airspace from that place. So, unless he was somewhere else, or he saw it somewhere else and thought it was over the NASA hangar, but what he said he saw, he couldn't physically have seen from that location. That's indisputable because there are buildings in the way, like a lot of buildings. There's like buildings and hangars and runways and like, unless it was fucking really high up, which he didn't say it was. He said it was low over the hangar, which he couldn't see. Like, how low is low? I guess that's the question. How low is low?
Yeah, I think you're taking into a lot here. I think you're assuming a lot. I think you're assuming that.
What am I assuming?
I think you're assuming that like, do you have a picture from the gazebo that shows this, or any, because I don't know of any Google map that goes inside of a base. How would you know what
are you talking about?
You
can see the gazebo on Google Earth. You can see the hangar where the sighting was. In between that, there are a bunch of small buildings.
Military bases on Google Earth.
I can measure the height of a building by looking at it and look at the distance that he said he saw it, and the fact he said it was low over a hangar, that he can't even see low over that hangar because there are buildings in the way. Like, I can look at a 3D map on Google Earth and see that a person standing under a gazebo next to like a 6-story building, they're not going to be able to see behind the 6-story building unless they're looking right up, right? But he said he looked straight over.
I think you're basing it on a lot of I tend to believe him. I tend to, like, I don't know. Maybe that's me being me, but I don't know. If he says he saw it, I usually give people benefit of the doubt. That
So do
I
I,
know
but
what
then
I've
I look
seen.
into the details of the sighting and try to work out, could they have actually even seen what they're saying they saw in the angle that they said they saw it? And from where he said he was, there's a bunch of buildings. It's like me saying, if all the buildings outside my apartment complex were not there, I could see the church in the town. But I can't do that because there are a bunch of buildings in the way that over the distance obscure the tower of the church. Same deal here, right? Where he's looking up at a certain angle, says he's looking that way, but to get to see 2 miles that way where the NASA hangar is, there is a bunch of buildings in the way that obscure the hangar and the aerospace above the hangar. So unless he's like, that building isn't there or he's in a different position, it doesn't work. That's my analysis of that anyway.
I also don't hear any point in Dylan's testimony where he says, or maybe I missed it. I don't know. I guess you'll have to show me where he says specifically that it was at this spot, and then we know, like, how do we? Because what I want to know is, like, has anyone confirmed that these are in fact the same 2 places? Like, I that's the part that was getting me, is that how do we know where he's talking about? Like, how?
Because so the
I don't
people
think that he was like,
people who are
the
on
longitude and latitude was at this.
But people on Langley Air Force Base is not like there's not a bunch of gazebos. People know the gazebo he's talking about because they are on base.
Come on.
And they're going, hey, I know that gazebo. I know that place. I know where you worked. I know that's where people go to smoke outside that office. So I know where that is. It makes sense for people that work and people that live and work there. They hear that story and go, hey, I know where that is.
Okay, well,
I know. It just seems illogical to think that these people that live and work there don't know what they're talking about, but this guy does. It's like, why are we trusting that, but don't trust the people that go, oh, I live and work here. Here's where he says it was because it's the only gazebo around. Like, if you look on the map, it's the only gazebo around. So it's like,
I have not seen the people that I haven't. I'm not being coy.
I wish that I had known we were going to be doing Borland today because I would have saved all of these things.
What the fuck do you mean? It was in the title. Don't tell me you didn't know.
I saw it a week ago. We didn't put the title in today. Like, we didn't put the title up a week ago. We put the title in like 24 hours ago.
No. Borland has been in the title since last week. Don't give me that. It's been in. You can look at the Wayback Machine. Borland's been in the title.
I doubt it's in the Wayback. I don't care. To be honest, I don't give a shit.
I get it.
So,
but
yeah, I just wish that I had known we were going to be covering it in this depth, so I would have saved all the analysis that I've read over the past week from people who live on base, people who do open source DUI, all this bullshit. Like, let's
move past that point, because we'll agree to disagree on the facts.
I didn't quote a police report analysis. Please just stop, because you're actually pissing me off in the chat. Like, stop it.
When we'll move past that and say we agree to disagree there. Now, staying neutral from that point, let's say that he did in fact see something. It does fall in line, and apparently, and all I'll say is David Grush investigated his claims, and apparently he was part. And I'm just saying this as what the narrative is.
This was part of the UAP task force, right?
Yeah. So he's one of those people that gets vetted by Grush and is part of that like 40 that he originally talked about. So given his background, like, again, I knowing what I've seen, it's not crazy for me to think that he saw something like this, given the fact that especially Langley and other places have been known for these, and they don't even have to be alien craft, but they could be some sort of a reproduction vehicle of some sort, not reproduction vehicle, if you like reverse engineer technology or technology that we're keeping, secret if we have cracked gravity. And that's what these guys are seeing. Like, I'm open to that idea, but I also think that like what they're seeing might be derived from an alien technology. If that's what the side that we're going from, that these things are in fact anomalous and not just like they cracked gravity in the 50s and it was a complete, there's nothing to
Right.
do with aliens on it. Either one of those are pretty crazy, and these craft
Yeah.
have been these triangle craft have been seen by a lot of people. And again, so George Knapp and Jeremy had on today another person that was apparently vetted. Now, this is what I was talking to you about last time, is the fact that and I love I love what Jeremy and George do, because like I aspire to be in that kind of a role where, or not that kind of a role, but I respect it, but I'm also a little like, because all the people that are testifying seem to be coming from Corbell and Knapp to some degree. And it makes sense because a lot of people go to Jeremy and George, but it's like, it's also, those are the only ones that are able to testify. And it's like by their selection and by design or by choice or by circumstance, they don't seem to be open to anyone like Bob Salas or the nuclear witness testifying, because George and Jeremy don't. So that's where I'm kind of aggravated, because it's like, it shouldn't be that way, because it seems that they're putting the people in front of Congress, and it's like, yeah, these people deserve to testify, but I also think that like Salas and some of the people that are owed that spot to testify to what I think are much more interesting events, in terms of like quality, severity, and all of it. Borland, I tend to, I think he seems to have been the standout, but Jeffrey's case is also a very good good case, and that was Vandenberg. And Vandenberg had the what was it, the red squares.
Red
So
squares.
yeah, it was Vandenberg. That's the Jeffrey Nucitelli case, right? The Vandenberg, the reds, like the red.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so these things, well, what I'll say is it does line up with other claims. It's not way out there. He didn't say two aliens came down and grabbed him and abducted him. He just said that he saw a light that then turned into a triangle, and I've actually I have a I don't want to get into it, but by observation, of my girlfriend's experience, she said that is exactly what it was when she saw it. And she was going north, it was coming south. And she claimed, I wasn't there, but I had her draw the whole thing. And, if she saw what she saw, it looked like a ball of light. And then all of a sudden, because of how it was flying, it looked like it looked like a ball of light until all of a sudden it was on top of her and it was a triangular shape. So by angle of observation, what he's saying does make sense, because that would incur that it was moving, right? So it makes sense to me. That's how I kind of envisioned it, at least. But the optics of it, at least were testified to Congress. I mean, I think he did swear an oath. So if that event didn't happen, and someone proves that, or investigates it and comes to a different conclusion, like, I'm pretty sure there can be ramifications for lying under oath. So I mean, I'm not going to say that we shouldn't be skeptical, but when someone of that stature comes to me and with that background, and yeah, there might be a little bit of trouble, but I have a little bit of trouble in my background too. So I usually I'll take them for what they're, what I'll say, okay, you saw what you saw, right? That's just, I guess that's who I am. But I haven't looked into it like that, and I guess we could do a little deeper dive, but it would have to be in a different format.
I mean, I could do that right now, actually. While you were talking,
I don't.
I was we're not going to go super deep into it. I just want to give you a visual of like the flight line, right? Because I don't want to be called a fucking liar. So here's the gazebos that he was smoking at. Building.
How do we know that?
Building. Because they're the only gazebos around, and the people on base know that people go to smoke here, and they matched what he said.
There's another.
Right,
gazebo
they're right
there.
next to each other. Yes,
so there's
but
no other
that
gazebo?
is not going
Those
to make
are the
that
only
much.
two? What
Do
if
you
he
see
was
any
in a
others?
gazebo?
My point here is, let me just finish that. My point here is the people that are on base, they listened to what he said. They identified the very likely area that he was, which is here. Now the NASA hangar is like over here. It's fucking not loading. It's one of these hangars. Like, here we go. So like he doesn't have a line of sight, not really, because there's all these buildings in the way.
But he said it was over the NASA hangar.
Again, this comes back to my question.
Doesn't that make? If he said it was over the NASA hangar, that would lead me to think that he was way far.
Well, he said it was low. Here's the key thing. He says it was low over the hangar. Now this comes back to my question: how low is low? How low are we talking here?
I guess that's
because there's a certain inclination it has to be above.
Assumptions. You're working off of a lot of assumptions here. That's what I'm saying. That's I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm not, because my
memory serves me, he said it was about 100 meters or so above the hangar. Now there's a certain inclination it would have to be for it to be that height above the hangar from that distance, right? That's just basic trigonometry.
From that,
so if
yes, but yes, I don't think
which has been identified. Why do you not think that?
Because
if people who live and work there say this is where people go to smoke,
because he's
describing a gazebo.
He said he hasn't said where it was specifically, and I think we do owe the benefit of the doubt to be like, hey, where were you? Like, point it out on the map where you were. So without other people saying, oh, I know where he works, and therefore I assume it was at this gazebo, and because that by them saying that's.
But with them being so sure,
he can't see the NASA flight thing. Like,
right.
But
if they're so sure it's that one,
then why would he say I can see the NASA hangar?
Well, this is why it's like, well, what the fuck? Because if people are identifying that as this is where people go to smoke, these are the only gazebos that we can think like
on that side of the base, the hangar's on the other side of the base. You're telling me there's no gazebo on the other side of the base where the hangar was?
But that's not where he was working though.
When does he say I was working at this building at this time?
Because people who work on the base know where the offices are. Like, do you see? Like, people who work there, they know where these offices are. So they go, okay, well, where's the nearest place to go smoke near that office where he was working? Oh, there it is.
I see what you're doing. I get, and let me make this clear. From that gazebo, until the time that someone can tell me without a shadow of doubt that Dylan Borland has pointed on a map that was the gazebo he was at, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was probably somewhere else and smoking a cigarette. And maybe there is another spot. I don't think that because he's saying he can see the hangar. Why would he why would he be in a spot that makes no sense? You can't see the hangar. You can't see anything of what he's saying, and it completely throws off his entire story. Like, I think those are basic
I feel like
facts.
this has been a recurring thing when going through the details of his story. There are a lot of what the fuckisms with it.
I think there's a lot of assumptions on your side, but again, just stay. agree to disagree on the Borland
Yeah.
case.
Okay.
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 So it's
Yeah.
I think you're working off a lot of assumptions. You think that I'm being too naive. I'm assuming. So
No, I don't think you're being naive. I think I feel like people aren't listening to the details of what he said, or they're taking the details of what he said and not passing them and listening to other people who know and live in the same area. Like there's like
But
a layer of information there, right?
yeah,
It's not
I
just
get-
not
but
just him. There's other people that can corroborate whether he's saying that.
where
The fact, right? So the fact that there's a gazebo, people have confirmed that by saying that there's a gazebo. I found it on Google Maps. Like that's real, right? That's confirmable information that there is a gazebo,
that's
at least on the base.
confirmable intelligence from somewhere. Yes.
Right.
So
So
but
that's a start. That's a confirmed fact, right? Because
that
that's what
there's
we're trying
a
to do.
gazebo in that location. Yes.
Yes, and that people, and then you got testimony from people on the base that people who
I have
work
not seen
work
that testimony.
Okay, if I'd have known that we were going to get this into it, I would have saved all this shit. I was focusing on the drone stuff this week. That's
Okay. All right. Okay.
right.
I'll give
I'm
you
not.
that. I'll give
I
you
haven't
that.
got 100 billion hours to do all this stuff.
I
so-
don't either. Yeah, I know.
No, I know. Like
But
some
I'll
of
take
the
it.
some of this, I scroll on my phone, I read it, I keep scrolling. Like I'm not thinking, oh, I better save that because I need it to make a specific point 10 days from now. Like I'm not thinking like that.
Well, you should
So-
think now like that.
Well, I know I got to keep this Colm Buckley happy in the chat, so I got to source absolutely everything I ever say in the rest of my life.
No,
So-
you don't take it like that. You're gonna take it with stride, man. That you're listen. This is the whole point of the show: is that we don't have to agree. I'm
Right,
giving
and
you
that's
the
why
benefit
I'm
of the doubt.
that's why I'm like not ripping your head
But
off.
I
I'm not
think-
saying you're
I think-
stupid for thinking what you think. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that.
I think that you're making a lot of assumptions. You think that I'm giving too much grace, and I'm allowing.
I'm
honestly.
my honest
my-
take is the truth is somewhere between the two.
Okay, then why? So why is his sighting so crazy then? It's not. It's not.
I don't think the fact that he said he saw
You
something
think-
is crazy.
you
I think
think-
the location that's been put forward as a likely location doesn't work.
You think that
That's why I'm like, what? That's my only thing about it, and you know, and that to me, that's probably separate from all the other stuff that he said he went through and all of that stuff.
Okay. But yeah, okay, I get it. So we're about at that 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna probably cut it down.
Okay. Well,
no.
what?
Listen. We'll dive.
I'm
more into
justifying.
this.
What am I
next
backing down
week.
from, Colm? What am I backing down from?
You're not back. No one's backing down from anything.
I'm not backing down from anything. I just didn't have everything sourced when it got brought up. It's not the end of the world. I hope you enjoyed the show.
We're just here to we're gonna, again, that's the point of it, is to have a discourse, and I do not like to surround myself with an echo chamber. I do not.
Right.
I think
That's
it's
the whole point
healthy.
of the show, is that I'm gut checking you and you're gut checking me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be open. Yeah, I'm probably assuming some stuff, but I'm assuming based on what he said and what people who work on the base have also said. I feel like that's a better source of information than just saying, "Oh, okay, yeah, he saw what he saw. He said, okay." Well, no, I'm gonna cross-reference that shit. Like,
well,
so
we have
you know,
plenty of time to get into it. Next week, and so next Thursday we'll be back. This week there wasn't too much that went on. I did have another clip, but it was just the new guy that came out on.
we'll cover that next week because we'll have more time to dig into it.
Yeah, what I will say is he mentions a throwaway program name that they told him, and they called it Aurora, which is actually, and he sees a black triangle, and he says like, oh, they sometimes they'll give like these garbage program names to throw you off, just like, so you can't go anywhere with it, like it's not the real project name. And I'm like, wait a second, black triangle, like the word Aurora getting thrown around, like that was kind of on the Lockheed. Supposedly there's testimony that like on the wall of Lockheed, it showed like the progression of aircraft, and it like fighter jets and stealth and all that shit. And then at the end it had this craft, and it was like a black triangle craft. And so I think I think those craft definitely exist, and I think some people are seeing them. That's like that's my moral and takeaway.
I
of-
just
of
want
the
to
thing.
push back. So I'm going to share my screen a sec and just
What is
prove that, just to prove that this
Ugh.
this thread did show analysis from a guy who works on the base, but you click it and it's not there. It's literally
So
it says
so
this.
it's
So
not
I
there,
can't
though.
I can't help that it's not there anymore, but it's referenced in this thread and I read that analysis at the time.
Ah, the
Okay.
plot thickens. The
So it was
plot
there.
does
It's the link's
thicken,
there.
though.
It's literally in the paragraph analysis as
plot
part of the data,
thickens.
but the thread's gone, so I can't even show
So-
it to you guys.
So is it so credible?
I don't know. Maybe that person got a message saying, "Stop fucking talking about shit on base." Like, I don't
Or
know.
so, but I think that
Or they were
I
completely
think
wrong.
I think point just came over to my side. No, I'm just kidding. All right, no, this is really fun. I really.
I mean, it's not my fault. It's gone, right? Like, it's not my fault. I didn't delete it.
It's like just goes to show you. Just goes to.
So let me just give so that thread was interesting. So that person did a screen recording on Google Earth and measured the distance and they did all the trigonometry shit I was talking about to prove that you can't, unless it's like quite high above the hangar, you can't see that airspace. That's why I'm like so resolute in it, because I was like, that's maths, that's mathematic proof. Like, so
Yeah,
the
I
fact
didn't-
is gone.
I
I don't
didn't
know. I
see
don't know
it.
what that's about. I don't know why it's gone, but yeah, I
If
just
it
showed you proof. It was
resurfaces,
linked. It was linked in that thread. I might reach out to that person and say, "Hey, can you like send me that recording? Because I want to show that." Because
It would
Yeah.
be, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So, see, again, I'm going to say, I think you're working off a lot of assumptions. Now, even more, because it's gone. And why is it gone?
yeah, I don't know why it's gone. Yeah. I only
So-
realized it was gone when I was looking that up to show it. Like it was
Yep,
there before.
I think I win the
Now it's
battle
not.
today. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No battle to win. But thank you so much, dude. Where
Thank
can
you.
people
I'm
find you?
You can find me on the internet being I'm an idiot with no justification for my hard-held beliefs. That's where you can find me on the internet. You can find me at Fires of Truth on X. You can find me in the chat running things over Truth Seekers. Or you can find me wanting to cry in the corner because UFO stuff is silly. Sometimes it can be really silly.
Yeah. But it's also.
But we get to have these amazing conversations and disagree, and I get to laugh at you laughing at me. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
Thank you guys for watching. And I think Truth Seekers is probably on right now. So people can go.
He's not. It's
and
actually a
watch
night
it.
off. It's a night off tonight.
Oh, look at that. We got the Thursday to ourselves.
We did. We did
Nice,
get the Thursday
nice.
to ourselves.
That's pretty awesome. But yeah, again, I think the whole point of the show is to again, it's not to foods, spoon feed you the answers. It's to get the right questions asked and have healthy debate when we don't agree. Because I think
Also-
that we do, and we don't need to go into it. You don't need to defend
No,
yourself.
no, I'm not defending myself. I'm saying a key
Um,
part of this show, I think, is everything you just said, and also the ability to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Everything I just said for the
I
last
said
2
it in the
hours, I'm
beginning.
totally okay with being proven wrong and being wrong. I'm just working off the information I have. That's why it annoyed me, the people in the chat, and then I just start laughing at it because I'm like, that's the whole point of the show, is that I
Yeah.
can be wrong and it's okay because we check each other. That's the whole point. So,
Yeah.
if you're gonna get mad and be like, then maybe this isn't the show for you. That's all I gotta say.
But yeah, I can that's why I like having people around that so a lot of people won't talk to Mick West. They won't talk to
I'd
talk
love to
Steve,
talk to Mick West.
I don't talk to Stephen Greenstreet, but I never talk to Stephen Greenstreet. So it's just how it is.
I
But
feel like
I'd
there's
be
like
open
I feel
to
like
it.
you've got someone in the corner with a rifle trained on you to make you say, I never talked to Greenstreet. I never talked to him.
Yeah. No, 'cause
Don't hurt me.
He blocked me for no
Why?
I actually I don't know, but he blocked me on X because I I do like to have conversation with those guys, but I also will call out like when I think they're being a little bit.
Yeah, but isn't that similar for like nearly everybody in the topic? Like everybody's got a different point of view. That's the whole point of this show. Is we've both got two very
Yeah.
very different point of views.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, but
a year ago, this show couldn't have
he
happened.
was also doing a
right?
show. He was also doing a show at one point with fucking Nick Pope, like one of the
Yeah.
biggest, arguably. I'll just say it.
I mean, no, I get it, but you have to think like how much of that was the New York Post putting them together, and how much of it was actually Steve.
Yeah, whatever. I just I
Yeah.
don't.
Like, I think it's
I
some of
thought
it's contractual.
I thought some of the work that he did on the Skinwalker Ranch, I think the first 4 episodes were good, and then in the 5th one, I think he totally like he kind of.
What happened in the 5th one?
That's
Remind
when
me?
that's the big reveal when he like turns on them essentially. Like it's like
Oh,
it's
when
like,
he goes, oh, actually,
yeah, he like let him. They flew him in on like the helicopter. They did so much for him, and then in the 5th, they had like they were promoting it, dude. They were promoting it with him, and then the 5th episode drops, and it's just a complete turnaround. Stick a knife into you and turn like, and that I felt like I felt like that was pretty shady to do. Because of the, I mean, if anything, these people were gracious enough to give you so much of their time and effort, and they were open to having you there. And then the way he builds it up and turns it, it's like, it just felt very
He works for the New York Post. It's a
Whatever,
tabloid.
whatever.
It's like it's sensationalized
that-
media. Of course, it's
Okay.
going to do that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so I felt that was insincere, and I said that, and then he blocked.
Yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's I mean that's a fair analysis.
I think it
I
was
saw it a
very-
bit differently. I thought he built. Yeah, I'm not looking at it like, oh, he did week to week, and because he's edited them all together, right? So he knew how the release was going to go.
Yeah.
I think
He
it's more a
absolutely-
case of it's entertainment. He maneuvered the story so that the finish was sensationalized. And I'm switching. So I've got hay
Yeah.
fever. All that
And
stuff.
as a creative
Like-
standpoint, I understand. Like I get it, but it was also some real genuine like just I kind of felt I don't know almost robbed of a because I liked a lot of the style choices. I liked a lot of the tone of the first 4 episodes, and then the 5th one it just seemed like he was beating like downward, and it was just
Right.
I don't know. Well,
I don't think he has 100% editorial control for one. He's got publishers, he's got people above him at New York Post. So
yeah.
you know.
Well, it felt one way, and I think I Green Street. Sometimes he makes me laugh. Sometimes he makes me want to bang my head against.
I
the
feel
wall.
like a lot of people had
So-
that same reaction about the UFO deception thing that he put out. People
Yeah,
had it's that same 180,
Yeah.
like he'd done all this stuff and he does a 180. Like
Yeah. That
I
was
think
a-
that's just a narrative trick that he uses in his series. I think it's not like a personal thing that he's going.
No,
I'm going to go out and do this. I think it's more of like it's a storytelling technique that he's employing, and it's just how he likes to finish his series. He likes to turn everything on its head, which drives viewership. Not going to lie.
Yeah. I just think it was very, very like the way no, and I guess I don't want to go into it anymore because
To be fair, I haven't seen it since it came out, so
so-
I don't remember half of it. But
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, all my links are in the description below, or you can scan the QR code above there. I'll have to get a QR code for Kari's X. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for who will tune in the future and on the podcast platforms. Again, if you are listening on the podcast platforms for this episode and these ones that I throw out there as bonuses, these are very visual. I'd probably watch on YouTube. And again, the links are in the description.
I would say that Disclosed is primarily a visual show.
Yes, 100%.
So
100%.
for those listening in audio land, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening. Thank you for suffering through my bloviated
Typing.
arguments and my
Yeah.
typing. I type at light speed on a clicky clack.
Yeah.
But please come over to the YouTube and watch. Why am I looking at my microphone when I'm talking? I should look at the camera. Hello. So please come and watch, because we're going to be sharing things on the screen. We're going to be analyzing
Hosting.
UFO videos and whatnot, and interviews, everything. So whilst it may be good to listen to, I get it when people are driving, you just want to listen. But if you want to see what we're looking at, come over to the YouTube or come over to Rumble or come over to X, and you'll be able to see the visual. That's my sales pitch for today. Over to you, Tyler.
Yeah, and I got So which interview are you editing?
Robbins.
Okay, yeah. So Peter Robbins will be coming out for the podcast. It's an interview I filmed at Contacting Desert with Peter Robbins. I also just did the UFO Exeter. Exeter.
Oh right, I caught you on the live feed there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I caught. So I did the UFO festival in Exeter with Peter as well, and I brought Stephen Bassett up, and we had a fun discussion. It was the first time I'd ever done like an on stage, like true performance,
Right.
like
So you're
podcast.
inching closer to being a speaker at a conference, like a proper speaker.
But yeah, I got paid to do it, so
I mean like contact, like actually like standing on the stage. You've got a presentation.
Yeah.
You've got the clicky thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really fun. I was on stage with a full crowd, and yeah, it was really interesting. It was really something. It took me out of my comfort zone, because instead of something like this, like the audience is in front of you and they've paid to come.
Right. I saw when the people came and they sat on the table like to your right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize there was like people in there like attending.
like
I thought, because the way the cameras were set up before they walked in, I thought it was like kind of like a contact with the interview rooms where like you're sat around a table and this was like separate to the event, but no, this actually was the event.
No, that was all.
Yeah, I only realized when you start talking to the people at the table, I was like, oh right, it's actually in a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's the same stage that Abraham Lincoln delivered 3 speeches on. So
holy shit, that's very cool.
Yeah, because his son went to college in Exeter, and
right.
Lincoln actually had an office in Exeter.
Yeah.
Because he was friends with the principal of the university there, and yeah. So Exeter, it was an amazing festival. It's not Contact in the Desert by any means, but Contact, I got to introduce some people like Chris Bledsoe, which that one was pretty big. So yeah, I'm getting more used to doing these like things, and I'm really excited about it. This live show is an addition to the stories that we're putting out and the podcast. So it's a way to engage and talk about the things that are more current instead of the kind of topical interviews.
I feel like this show is the rowdy cousin of of everything else on the channel.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Variety is the spice of life, right? And I'm a spicy person. I just want to call out Colin Buckley. Thank you for subscribing. Even if you disagree, I appreciate you appreciating us and spending 2 hours at nighttime listening to us and contributing. Even if I'm sorry I got heated, but that's debate. I never get like angry. It's just intense debate. I come from the school of debate, so I'll go and go.
And I think what we'll start doing is and this is just like me rambling at this point but I used to do this for a different show, like kind of like segmented. So I'd like to get like bumpers that kind of open up some things, and especially if we start doing something that's consistently done every week, whether it's looking at a couple UFO videos that might pique interest. So with that being said, thank you everyone. If you can, make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, rate, review on podcast platforms. If you can leave a review and a 5-star rating, it really helps broaden the audience. It's all free, and if you want, become a member, an asset, and get early access to everything that's pre-recorded, priorities to live shows, and some more things that will come down the tunnel the more members we get. So that means like private streams, of private episodes. So, all right, guys. With that said,
All right.
rock
I
and
look forward
roll.
to reading all the hate comments. I'm going to be feeding off them the next couple of days. So if you really dislike what I said in this podcast, let us know so I can
And-
respond and yell at you in the comments.
No.
No,
But
I wouldn't yell.
then
I
you
won't
can
yell.
watch his edit on the podcast and be like,
You can.
"Oh wow, I do like this person."
Right.
All right.
Right.
We'll see
So
you guys next
Robin's
time.
episode next week. We'll see you next week.
Yes, next Thursday, same time.
Thank you.